One thing I dislike about women is their inability to let their pride be hurt and face reality. I met way too many women who work in pseudo-important role but believe she's the shit. Or women who graduated from university and narcissistically assume the world functions the way the textbook taught her, and that whatever she learned from the university is everything that the world is supposed to be. Women lead with pride and die with pride. Vanity, entitlement, narcissism, and full of oneself. Have you ever thought of a person this punchable that you just want to smack them right in their face? Women tend to hold themselves in incredibly high regard. Such vainness can only be found in a woman, as she is so concerned with her self-image 24/7 that she'll do anything to make her look prettier. Her pride can be hurt. Hurting a woman's pride is like some kind of nuclear bomb. Not only does she not stomach this well, but she'd retaliate against you personally because you have hurt her precious pride. It's like her worldview just cannot be challenged. Everything and everything has to function exactly the way she pictures it. Otherwise, it all goes kaboom boom. She just cannot accept that the world functions in a way that is not to her liking, and that the world does not revolve around her. I've met quite a couple of women with extremely strong frames of life. These women carry very domineering worldviews that simply cannot be challenged. Anything that is against that worldview is seen as a personal attack to them. So dealing with them can be quite exhausting, as things have to go the way they want it to go. Another problem with women being prideful is that they are sensitive to criticisms. They just cannot, for once, come down to earth and accept that they're human beings too. So if you criticize them, no go, you're a bad person. You're not only bad, you're also evil. What is even more annoying is her attitude, that even though her worldview is incomplete, she still forces that incomplete worldview onto others as the one and only way of being, and that one and only way of how the world works. It's just narcissism in full motion. Honestly, looking at their comments all seem very childish and stupid even. You just can't take criticisms? One thing I don't get about women is that quite many of them like to retaliate any of the negative emotions you throw in their way. If they feel inferior around you, they are going to make you feel inferior around them. Even though them being objectively inferior to you is a fact and reality, but she can't stomach that feeling, and she feels like she has to retaliate against you because she does not want to feel inferior around you. So you gotta feel inferior around her. Such narcissism. However, she picked me because I am actually superior to her. If she does feel inferior around me, isn't this what she has asked for? If you go meet someone who is actually superior to you in all aspects, you're going to feel inferior to them. So, instead of sorting this feeling of inferiority out themselves, they choose to attack you because your presence has made her feel inferior. Like, what the hell do you want? There can be a more retarded way of thinking. This is like walking towards a minefield. A woman chooses to walk towards a minefield because the minefield has the allurement of thrills and excitement. However, everyone around her cautions her to stay away from the minefield because she might get blown up in the process. But she goes into the minefield anyways. Later, the woman is blown into pieces with her head lying on the ground. She uses her last breath, shouting, "Why are there so many minefields? The world should be a safer place for women. This is misogynistic." Like, what do you want? Women, what do you want? Zero accountability. I've seen way too many incidents where women shift blame to others to make themselves feel better about themselves. A woman would sign up to a running contest, run the track field, then fall due to her being uncareful. When she falls to the ground, she cries out loud, then proceeds to blame the track field for being uneven, or the ground being too nasty or too muddy. I've seen countless times when women do this kind of dumb shit. You sign up for a contest, you run, and then you fall, then you blame the ground for being uneven. This is full-blown retardedness. Women seem to really enjoy doing this kind of shit. The ground is not going to be responsible for your own falling, man. You are. You're going to be responsible for your own falling. It's simply childish to even talk about this kind of stuff, as if women have never grown past their teenage years. Like, would anybody even remotely blame the ground if they fell? Are you 3 years old? A lot of these women are just too damn prideful. They can't seem to accept that, well, they can be wrong sometimes. Well, it could be their fault. Well, maybe your worldview is wrong. Well, it's time to grow the fuck up. A woman needs to be able to shoulder some attacks because the world is not a greenhouse. You don't get to be a snowflake walking through your life without ever getting some attacks or criticisms. Especially if these women aren't even kind, aren't even compassionate, aren't even empathetic. Giving them some criticisms or challenges or attacks is the perfect way to test out how the person responds to negativity. Most of the times, what I found is that these women either avoid them or straight up retaliate against you because you have made them feel uncomfortable. Well, ladies, there are so many things in this world that are going to make you feel uncomfortable. Are you going to retaliate against them all? This is simply not feminine at all. Real femininity is not combative. It is also not avoidant. Real femininity is warm and welcoming. Real femininity lifts you up and warms you like the sunlight of spring. Like spring water in a green garden full of butterflies. Like the water flowing down the river and going into the creeks. It is peaceful and calm, with a little bit of cutesiness. Especially if you want a partner, a teammate, to shoulder the harsh reality of this world together. You need someone who can take a hit and stay steady. However, at this point, all I'm seeing are little princesses. They want your attention, they want your protection, they want your provision, they also want your effort and energy to give them what they want. Yes, their selfish needs and wants. The lethality of female pride is exactly as it is. They're walking towards a minefield without ever heeding the warnings from others. And eventually, they will end up dead themselves.